Welcome to another amazing episode. This is Relatable with Lucy. Thank you so much for tuning in, for liking, for subscribing, for sharing, and for all the feedback that you have continued to provide. Please keep it coming because this is important to us. Now, in the last few episodes, we have talked about adverse childhood experiences, and we learned that adverse childhood experiences has got potential to adversely affect the life of a child. But we also learned that with mentorship, with a caring adult in the life of a child, and with a social support system, this can change. Adverse childhood experiences can actually be mitigated. And so today, our guest will be talking to us about her child development program and what she does. And we'll be learning more about ways that we can support children. Her name is Florence Wanjiru. I describe her as one with a consuming passion for children. Welcome, Florence.
Thank you so much, Lucy. It's an honor to be part of the program.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
for finding the time.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, if you could please tell us more about yourself.
As you've heard, I'm Florence Wanjiru. Born again. I love the Lord. And I am the founder of Growing Ears Foundation. It's a children-based program that is tailored for life skills and social skills. We started, it's actually a fairly new program. We started end last year and we well kicked off in 2020.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. It looks like when you were just about to start and,
Yes.
get off, the situation changed.
Yes.
But I'm sure you can tell us what it is that you have been doing and what you are currently doing in the program. More details about the program.
Awesome. So the program, in the beginning of the year, we tailored everything to incorporate school-going kids because we, as the Growing Years, we found out that kids from as young as 3 years to 4 years are already sent into school. And they spend their growing years, their life, in their development and in their formative years, they spend that in school. So we realized since they spend actually 98% of their time in school, they only get to learn academic smarts. They learn about the different, subjects and every bit of that. But there is an aspect that is missing, and that is the life skills, social skills, how they are able, how they interact with one another, how they interact with adults, strangers, different people. So as a program now, we come in to accessorize our academic system, where we are able to bring up a child who is all-rounded, who is not only academic smart, but is also life smart, has the right skills to approach life the right way from as early as when they start school.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I like the bit of, growing up.
Yes.
And as you tell us about, because I know your programs take a holistic approach to development of a child.
Yes.
You could tell us why you think that is important. As you also explain to us, how did you come up with the name Growing Years? Because I think it's an interesting name. I think it's eye-catching. If
Yes.
that is the right word.
Yes, it's actually very catchy because, and it's just hitting the nail on the head, it is what it is at the point. The reasoning behind Growing Ears is being able to tailor programs that will help children in their growing years, because the challenges a 4-year-old faces is not the same challenges that a 10-year-old faces, is not the same challenges that a 15-year-old faces. So as Growing Ears, we have tailored our program to cater from as young as 4 all through to as old as 18, or those who are high school level or university level going children. So it's a very holistic program because we not only have the main goal, which is being life smart, knowing, having the social skills and the life skills, but as a program, we tailor our lessons. We tailor how we interact with each child as uniquely as we deal with each child. So even though the program is set, even though the goals are a bit generalized, when we come to have that one-on-one with the child, we have a different approach. We deal with each child as an individual, because then are we able to meet the needs of that child and not just a group kind of setting. Yes, that's how we are able to meet the holistic level of each child.
I hear you say that, you have goals for the program.
Yes.
Because you need to know what it is that you're achieving, but you also look at the specific needs of the children.
Yes.
How are you able to do that? You have many children that you're taking care of.
Yes.
How do you achieve this?
So initially, the core of our introduction classes is usually more of interrogative, where I'm able to put the child through different kinds of programs, and also working together with the parent, because there's no one else knows the child better than the mother, the father, and the caregiver, you know. So with that kind of an information, we already have a background of the child. So we know, does the child struggle with talking to their peers? Does the child struggle with communicating with adults? You know, then we are able now to gauge that. Now, what we do is we start with group sessions where, yes, we are all in the same class, we are all in the same forum, but now we are able to do different exercises. And from that, I can pick up which child is struggling with this, which child is strong with this. And then now from that, I keep a database where I'm able to monitor the progress of the child from the moment they enter the program. And then now we grow from that. So now we start as a class, as a group session, and then from that I'm able to tailor individual sessions per child. And then now that one will be based on what I have noticed is their strengths and it's their weaknesses.
Wow. I like the bit of involving everyone, involving the parent, involving the child in designing what it is that you deliver to them.
Yes.
How important is this? Why do you think that is important? Because
the parent already has a vision for the child. And even if they don't, we help them have that vision. Because the reason why this is very important and it's very core for us as growing ears is because we cannot just, we are already stepping out from the norm of what they do in schools. Because in schools, the kids are sent to school, they are taught with a teacher, and then they come back home and you find there are certain things even parents, we don't know. You know, some of the new math formulas are very new to us or even new to parents. So you find the parent fully relies on the teacher to teach the child the different subjects. So now as growing ears and in our program to bringing up a more all-round child, we incorporate the parent, where we help the parent see what are the strengths of your child, what are the weaknesses, what can you do? Because some of our programs also help them in how they relate with their siblings, maybe, with their parents, with their extended family, how they do house chores, because this is now the environment that we want to bring the child so that they see there is more to life than just class. There is more, because when you go home, you have to do certain things. You can't expect grown-ups to do everything for you. We want to bring up a holistic child who is able to maneuver in school, who is able to maneuver at home, who is able to maneuver out in the open when you're meeting with different people, maybe in malls, in churches, all these different. So there's all these other aspects that are not really catered for in the schools. So this program comes in to accessorize that. So we are able to bring up a child who is ideal in class, who is ideal at home, ideal at church, you know.
In the community.
In the community, yes.
Wow. All-rounded person. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, because they are older children, you work with children that are up to the age of 18.
Yes.
what programs do you do? Because these children are looking into going to outside to colleges, to, you know, wherever else outside of the
Yes.
high school.
Yes.
What programs do you do with them?
So the main, one of the main programs we have is career mentorship, because this is the level where they transition from school-based now into working towards a certain career, or a certain project, or a certain business, because we're not only building up children to be employees. You know, we have many children who, even as young as they are, already have a vision of very creative things they can bring even into our professional market, and they can easily thrive in that, you know. So what we do with that level of child, we help them through career mentorship. So we bring in different people of different professions who are able to now talk to the students, talk to the learners, help them know what does that career entail, how do you achieve it, what do you need to do to achieve it, you know, so that they also have a background knowledge of what do I need to do to become a teacher, a lawyer, or a doctor, you know, so that even when they're getting into university, they have a bit of experience. They have a bit of knowledge of what they need to do, how they need to do it, so that they will be able to be more developed by the time they're growing. And I think also complementing to what you spoke about in your other episodes about advanced childhood development, I think because a lot of children, by the time they're getting to university, you find a lot struggle with dropping out, you know, different peer pressure. And I think this is because how they're brought up, they're only in school. So that's the setting they're used to. They're used to rules. They're used to bells telling them what to do. So when they get to university, they really don't know how to handle themselves. They have all this free time, all this, no one is watching their back every single time. So you find the child actually suffers an identity crisis during this time. And it can really affect even how they go into their careers. And you see,
the choice of careers.
The choice of careers. They don't even know, is this the career I want to do, or did it just look good when I was young, but now I'm not able to achieve it? So this now comes in to help that kind of bridge, to bridge and help them see what they can achieve even when they go to university.
Wow.
Yes.
So I'm thinking about advanced childhood experiences. Interestingly, I was thinking about it just at the time that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, how can your program be more deliberate about, I know all that you do helps in our, because we say mentoring and, you know, and a social support system, all that helps a child.
Yes.
But how would you think you can be more deliberate in designing programs that would mitigate the effects of adverse childhood experiences?
Actually, it's very nice that you've asked that. As a program, I have reached out to different kind of professions, such as therapists, such as life coaches. They come in to accessorize, especially for children who are already going through a certain kind of challenge as a child that is not going to be well mitigated by my program. You may find either the child has challenges with maybe separation of parents from home or a traumatic experience. So as a program, we're able to pick that up because we deal a lot with the social being of the child, not just their academics.
So we are very important.
Yes, so that helps us, that places us at a higher advantage to actually see behavioral changes in the child. So, and we're able to catch it quickly. And then now, when we catch that kind of, if we are not able to do what we can as a program, we can easily refer the child with the parent, of course, to someone, to a setting, be it therapy, be it different kinds of programs that will help the child overcome that kind of a challenge while still in growing years foundation. So they will easily overcome the challenge or the traumatic experience. And you see, the benefit is they will cut it at the introduction place. you know, the trauma
Yes.
will not grow with the child,
Yes.
you know, so the how to deal with it will not be as hard or as concrete as it is when they grow up with the dilemma, with the challenges. Yeah, so we are able to cut those kind of roots before they actually take root.
And address it on time.
Address it on time.
Yes, and I like the bit of working with the parents. And I know you do seminars with parents, with caregivers, and with guardians.
Yes.
And as you tell us what specific things that you do with parents in the seminars, or the kind of training that you do, I would want you to just tell us if there is any specific way that you engage the parents to be able to identify, or for the parents to come on board in terms of getting you identify traumatic experiences, and what role parents can play.
Yes. Actually, yes, it's very nice that you've mentioned about our parent and caregivers program.
Yeah.
Because we believe by the time we're working with the children, you see, their main setting is at home.
Yes.
And we want to be able, what we implement, we want to also see the parents implementing the same, because they will not be with us as teachers for the longest time. You know, their interactions with their families, the follow-up and everything is with the parent. So what we do as Growing Years, we have seminars for parents and caregivers. In those seminars, we help parents know how to deal with children in different situations.
Yeah.
Because you find it is during those kind of transitions, like when a child is learning how to speak. Like I had an experience of a child who was learning how to speak, but then because the child was, you know, having different sounds and different intonations of certain words, it seemed funny. And so the people around that child used to laugh at the child. And that actually affected the child, because now they felt if I try and make sounds, I'll get laughed at, you know, so they will actually stop talking, you know. So this child actually took longer to learn how to talk. And that goes on for different stages in life. How you deal with a child, even when the main thing that I know most parents go through with young children are tantrums. How do you deal with a child during a tantrum? Because the child may start feeling like my opinion is not felt, you know, I don't really matter.
Yes.
And that can actually frame the child, because from as early as 0 years up to 18, these are the formative years of a child.
Wow.
So as Growing Years, we have done conclusive research in the milestones for each child and what they get per each milestone. So we are able to coach parents to know how to deal with children in certain levels during certain circumstances, and also have sessions one-on-one, now not as a seminar, where we have one-on-one session where the parent can ask questions and we are able to deliver, this is what we have seen your child do, this is what we believe they are good at, this is what we believe they are struggling with, that you can come and help in. So we work together with the parents and the caregivers to mold the child in their growing years.
That sounds very interesting. The involvement is really clear, you know. And you mentioned that you have goals for the program. You also have specific goals for each child. I wanted to find out how do you know that you're actually meeting the objectives that you have set out for the children? Because, you know, you're working with many children. How do you know that you're actually achieving the specific goals that you have set for the children?
That's an amazing question. Actually, I get that a lot from parents, especially when they're inquiring about the group session and the individual session. So what we do is, especially when we start, we have a more interactive sessions. Our first close to 10 sessions are very interactive. This program is not a touch and go kind of program. We tend to encourage parents to help to have the child in the program for a longer period of time. So we are able to also have room to grow with the child as they also grow. So what we do in our interrogative sessions, we do different kinds of exercises. I am also very artistic. I paint and I do a lot of crafts. So I incorporate this into the program to help see what are the children good at, what are they struggling with. I'm able to give worksheets, questionnaires, different kinds of sort of like a testing mechanism.
Yeah.
And then through that, I'm able to see with each individual child, what do I need to focus on with this child?
Wow.
And then also because we are working with the parent already knows, like, my child struggles with eating in public. Like, they can't eat with other people.
Yeah,
they feel shy
children,
or something like that. So what also the parent brings in dictates also what we put as goals for the child.
Wow.
So we are able to monitor the child, the growth, the development of the child based on what we want to achieve. Plus, our kids are also very, very brilliant. We tend to think they're just children. They don't know what they want. Yet when you interact with them, they also have an idea of what they would like to do, how they would like to do it. So when we work with the children, we are able to create also goals with them. So they feel like they are in charge of the things they need to accomplish.
They own it.
They own it,
yes.
Exactly.
They own it. When they own it, they are ready to implement it. They are ready to move with it.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the participation. I like the involvement. I like the fact that you don't do. You're not just sitting and just designing something.
Yes.
Because I think this is very helpful because parents will own that.
Yes.
Children will own it and they will run with it. Yes, and it's very exciting to just know what it is that you're doing with children.
Yes.
And part of what we have been encouraging and bringing out is highlighting people who are doing amazing things with children and in mentorship and life skills trainings. And this is one of an amazing example that we have.
Yes.
And we really appreciate that you came to speak to us, Wanjiru.
Yes.
I don't know what it is that you would want to say to the viewers as we finish. Maybe you can tell us how to reach you.
Yeah. So the program right now, understanding the situations with COVID, because we initially vouched the program to schools, understanding that this is actually the period where the students are learning, the children are learning.
Yes.
So we first started off with schools, and we come in as a club, as an optional club, where the parent can easily enroll the child into Growing Years program. And then as they are doing their academic work, I can go into the school. Now the school, for those who've registered in that school, I have sessions and lessons with them. But now with the challenges that came with COVID, and our heart does go out to parents who are really challenged right now, because now the children are at home, and especially especially now that parents are now going back to work, so the children really need a lot of monitoring, really need a lot of, so parents are struggling with that, you know. So as Growing Years, we actually want to also benefit parents, because we've incorporated a bit of homeschooling.
Yes.
For some of the parents that don't have that kind of facility with their school. So if there are parents who just want a bit of a continuation with also their academic, we can also come in to give in that bit of training, that bit of lesson work, so that the children don't get left out when we do resume, because we do believe that we are resuming soon.
Yeah.
So our sessions right now are online.
Okay.
We have tailored it to now meet online, to be able to be hosted online. So what we do right now is I encourage parents to either send an email or call me on my number.
Yeah.
And then now we have a one-on-one session where I learn more about the parent and the child.
Yes.
And then now I enroll them into the program. Then I'll be able to give them a timetable and something that, because it's tailored for every child. It's not just generalized.
Yeah, it's tailored for every child.
Yes.
So we will sharing your email.
Yeah, we can share my email. I also have my platforms on social media.
Yes.
For Facebook, it's the Growing Years Foundation.
Yes.
For Instagram, it's Growing Years 20, because that's the year we started in. So 2020, we still believe is our foundation year.
Wow.
Yes.
That's lovely.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Wanjiru.